This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our podcast series with co-host Kathleen Sanford. For those of you that have joined us for previous episodes, this is dedicated to FAA employees, air traffic controllers, and their families, understanding your benefits, and planning for retirement. So, Kathleen, you and I left off on part one of what we felt were two episodes of the Social Security benefits and retirement. A lot of good information on the first session, so you're going to want everybody listening, you're going to want to pick that up. So let's get into other considerations. This is where we left off. Other considerations for federal employees claiming their Social Security benefits. So take it away.
Okay, well, super. Like Jeff said, we had talked about the impact of delaying your Social Security, and on one of the slides that we have the age and the amount of monthly benefits at age 62, your full retirement age, and 70. But some of the things to consider, and we kind of touched base with this earlier in one of our other podcasts, is the earnings test. Because if you take your retirement at age 62 and you say, oh, I think I'm going to go work part-time or something, that is something that you really need to consider whether or not you should take Social Security or whether you should wait. So you need to consider that. And now, of course, when you get to your full retirement age, you can go back to work and earn as much as you want because the earnings test no longer applies. So that is the other, the second part of your strategies. Now we do have a third one here that I'd like to just touch base with because these are all unique, and that has to do with your CSRS and your CSRS offsets who have reached a full retirement and they're continuing to work in the federal services, and they are encouraged to receive his or her Social Security monthly benefits. So you have that to consider as well. And then you also have to consider the WEP, that is the windfall elimination. And that is something that can really shock you. So that is the main thing that we're worried about there as well. And then we have other considerations for federal employees claiming their Social Security benefits. This basically has to do with spousal benefits. I mean, a lower earning spouse could be eligible for a benefit as much as half of their higher earnings of the spouse benefits. And this is kind of tongue-tied here, if the higher earning spouse benefits are more than twice the amount of the lower earnings benefits. So you've got to consider that. You also have to consider divorced, widowed, if you were married for at least 10 years, that affects your Social Security benefits. And then Social Security benefits are taxable, at least on the federal level. A lot of people think Social Security, there's no taxation because it come out of your check. So you think, well, it's being taken care of, but it's not. So basically 85% of your Social Security is on a tax basis. And so you have to consider that taxation as you're thinking of your income, because that could put you over into another bracket. So we want to make sure that if you claim Social Security at age 62, where's your tax bracket? If I take it, is it going to increase more taxation? Or if I don't take, you got to figure out which is more beneficial. So so basically, again, I'd like to recap some important items that I have been asked most frequently. And
yeah. So I just moved the screen. So somebody that is viewing this, for example, on YouTube, or has gone to our website and isn't listening in, we do have a chart here. So let's talk about what is the maximum Social Security benefit and some of those other frequently asked questions.
yes, so An individual who files for their Social Security retirement benefits in 2020 can receive the maximum amount is $3,790 for someone who files at age 70, $3,011 for someone who files at full retirement age, which is currently at 66. And then the max is for somebody who files at age 62 would be $2,265. So these were the Social Security retirement benefit amounts for 2020. And the estimate or the average Social Security benefit, believe it or not, is only $1,503. And the average disability benefit is $1,258. So you can see your difference there. Now, who is eligible for the maximum benefit? And this is kind of tricky. It's people who have earned Social Security, the amount of your earnings in which you pay for the last 35 years or 35 years of your earnings. The maximum taxable income in 2020 is $137,700. And of course, this figure is adjusted on an annual basis. And you can always see this on your Social Security website. But we have to make sure that we don't confuse the maximum eligible taxable amount to the maximum family benefit. They're two separate things, and we're not going to get into that because that's a different topic altogether. But basically, that's the most a family can collectively receive from Social Security, including the spousal, children, disability, so forth and so on a family member's earnings record.
So then there's some pension and other factors, right, that are important.
Right. We kind of touch base on these, but these do impact your retirement benefits. And like I mentioned before, your windfall elimination or your WEP. This basically has to be for a pension from a job for which you just simply didn't pay any Social Security taxes, like CSRS. This could actually lower your retirement benefits. And then I've been dealing with a client today about the offsets, and it affects benefits for a spouse, widow or widower, in which you have a pension from a government job for which you didn't pay Social Security. Also on the offsets, the age 62 is a very important age. So if you fall into that area and you want to speak to somebody, you need to know what your Social Security benefit would be at age 62, whether you are now 65 and receiving a different amount. It's at age at 62 that's important to do some computation for your retirement if you're still working. And I do have clients that way. And then again, we kind of touched base on this before. These are another kind of like recap here is your income taxes and your Social Security benefits. So you need to realize that you're going to pay Social Security taxes on your federal taxes on your Social Security. And of course, we just can't wait to always pay our taxes. And then, of course, the earnings test, receiving benefits while working. Again, you need to know the earning test limits. You need to know that for this year, it's $18,240. If you earn anything over that, you're going to pay $1 for every $2 you earn. And then there's a couple of nuances. If you start this in the middle of the year, there's a maximum salary you can make. And we kind of went over that in an earlier podcast. But,
yes, we did.
Yeah, and the Social Security, these things that I had mentioned is just part of a lot of different things that come into your retirement planning that you need to be aware of.
Well, that's great information, and that's the reason why we broke this this topic up into 2 sessions, because it could get a little overwhelming. So for those that are listening in, what's the next step for them? I know that you offer a free initial consultation.
Right. When I speak to a client, I basically find out what they would like to talk about in their retirement. Usually it's how much I'm going to get in pension, or what is my total income going to be. And so we sit down and we do a gap analysis, which is at no cost to them, and it covers just about every kind of expense that they can have connected with their job, their health insurance, life insurance, TSP, what their pension's going to be at this age, that age, or another age. Some want to say, how early can I retire and not have a penalty? And so we figure that out too. And of course, we just need, computation date. Did you buy military back that you did, or, do you have a deposit or a redeposit? So we gather all that information up, and then we schedule a meeting, and we get your answers.
Absolutely. So as you can tell, Kathleen's very knowledgeable in the federal benefit area, and it's important to have somebody as a financial professional and a fiduciary. We're going to get into more of that in an upcoming session, but working with somebody that puts your best interest first is very important, and that should go without saying, but sometimes it doesn't. So
Correct.
thank you, Kathleen. Great information.
You're very welcome.
So for those of you listening in, if you want to get a hold of Kathleen and schedule a consultation, go to our website, www.fedchecklist.com. That's fedchecklist.com. There on the landing page, you can schedule a consultation. You can put questions in specifically for Kathleen, and she'll get back to you, her and her team. And there's also a really good download PDF workbook, worksheet, and budget for retirement that we've had a lot of positive response from, free of charge. So go check that out. You can also contact us at 888-545-8840, and we'll help you any way we can. So again, I know how busy you are, Kathleen. Thanks for your time.
You're very welcome. It's been a pleasure.
And we will be back next week with the next episode. So you're going to want to join us. If you haven't attended the previous ones, go to our Fed Checklist site. You'll find all the podcasts that Kathleen and I have done on you, the federal employee, and your family, and helping you with your planning retirement. So this concludes our session today. Thank you, everybody, and we'll be back next week.